Ever pondered what would happen if Earth gets knocked off axis? Well, to fully grasp that, we need to first understand what exactly the Earth's axis is. Picture this, if you will, an imaginary line, invisible to the naked eye, piercing the Earth from the North Pole, passing through its center and emerging out from the South Pole. This is what we call the Earth's axis. Now let's add some motion. Our dear planet isn't just sitting around in space, it's spinning. It's much like a top that whirls around its center. Day and night, they are simply the result of this endless waltz. As the Earth spins, different parts of it face the sun, bringing the break of day or the fall of night. But here's where it gets a bit more interesting. The Earth isn't perfectly upright in its spin. No, it's got a bit of a slant to it, a tilt if you will, of approximately 23.5 degrees. To some this might seem like a minor detail, but in reality, it's anything but. This tilt, this seemingly insignificant lean, is vital for the existence of life as we know it. It's the reason we have seasons. When the Earth's tilt points us towards the sun, it's summer. When it points us away, it's winter. And in between we have the mild transitional climates of spring and autumn. Without this tilt, we wouldn't have this diversity in climate and weather. It would be a lot harder for different forms of life to adapt and survive. In fact, this tilt is so crucial that even a slight change in it could potentially cause catastrophic changes to our climate. So, when we talk about the Earth's axis, we're not just discussing a bit of planetary geometry, we're talking about the delicate balance that allows life to exist on our planet. The Earth's axis, thus, plays a paramount role in sustaining life as we know it. You might wonder, why is Earth's axis so important? A simple question, yet it holds the key to understanding the delicate balance of life on our planet. Think of the Earth's axis as an imaginary line running from the North Pole, through the center of the Earth and out through the South Pole. This axis is tilted at an angle of around 23.5 degrees relative to the plane of Earth's orbit around the Sun. It might seem like a mere detail in the grand scheme of the universe, but this tilt is actually a crucial factor shaping our world. Firstly, the axis determines the cycle of seasons. As the Earth orbits around the Sun, the tilt of the axis means that different parts of the Earth receive different amounts of sunlight at different times of the year. When the North Pole tilts towards the Sun, it's summer in the northern hemisphere, and winter in the southern hemisphere. 6 months later, when the South Pole tilts towards the Sun, the seasons are reversed. But the Earth's axis does more than just dictate when we dust off our beach gear or pull on our winter coats. It also plays a key role in shaping our climate. The tilt of the axis affects the angle at which sunlight reaches the Earth. At the equator, sunlight is most direct, leading to warm temperatures year-round. In contrast, at the poles, the sunlight arrives at a steep angle, spreading the same amount of light over a larger area and resulting in much cooler temperatures. The Earth's axis also influences the length of daylight throughout the year. The tilt of the axis means that, as the Earth orbits the Sun, the amount of daylight each part of the Earth receives changes. In the summer, the North or South Pole is tilted towards the Sun, meaning that part of the Earth gets more daylight hours. In the winter, it's tilted away, leading to fewer daylight hours. This changing pattern of daylight and darkness not only affects our daily routines but also drives the growth patterns of plants and the behaviors of animals, shaping the ecosystems that we are part of. So, you see, the Earth's axis is far from just a simple line through our planet. It's a pivotal player in the grand performance of life on Earth, choreographing the dance of the seasons, the rhythm of our climate, and the ebb and flow of light and darkness. It's a subtle director, its influence often unnoticed, but its role is undeniably vital. Without the Earth's axis and its tilt, our planet would be a vastly different place. The cycle of seasons as we know it would cease to exist, the distribution of climates around the globe would be altered, and the pattern of daylight throughout the year would be dramatically different. The Earth's axis, in essence, choreographs the rhythm of life on our planet. From the bloom of spring flowers to the fall of winter snow, from the heat of the equator to the chill of the poles, from the lengthening of days to the drawing in of nights, it's all guided by the tilt of our Earth's axis. So, what would transpire if Earth were to be knocked off its axis? That's a question that could stir up a whirlwind of wild imaginations. But let's ground our speculations in science, shall we? Earth's axis is like an invisible line that runs through the planet from the North Pole to the South Pole. This slight tilt, about 23.5 degrees off perpendicular to the plane of Earth's orbit around the Sun, is responsible for our seasons. So, If there were a change in this axis, even by a small degree, it would significantly impact the way we experience seasons. A shift would mean that the amount of sunlight reaching different parts of Earth would change. In the most extreme case, if Earth's axis was knocked to be perpendicular to its orbit, we would have no seasons at all. Every day would be like the equinox, with equal day and night throughout the year. However, a tilt in the other direction could lead to extreme seasons with scorching long summers and frigid extended winters. But it's not just the change in seasons that we would need to worry about. A shift in Earth's axis would also potentially affect the planet's climate. Climate is a complex system influenced by many factors, with sunlight playing a pivotal role. A change in the axis could lead to a change in the distribution of sunlight, which could cause a dramatic shift in climate patterns. Some areas might become uninhabitably hot, while others could turn into frozen wastelands. Moreover, the length of daylight would also be affected. Currently, most places on Earth experience longer daylight hours in the summer and shorter in the winter. But with a change in axis, this could be drastically different. Some regions might experience continuous daylight or darkness for extended periods, similar to what's seen in the Arctic and Antarctic regions today. However, it's important to note that a sudden shift in Earth's axis is highly unlikely. It would take an extraordinary event, such as a collision with a massive celestial object, to knock Earth off its axis. And even then, the planet's natural gyroscopic properties would work to stabilize the tilt over time. Regardless, contemplating these scenarios can give us a deeper appreciation for our planet's delicate balance. It underscores how something as seemingly insignificant as a slight tilt can have profound effects on our lives. It's a humbling reminder of our place in the cosmos and the fragility of our existence. A shift in Earth's axis could lead to a world far different from the one we know. But as we continue to explore and understand the cosmos, we can better prepare ourselves for whatever the universe might throw our way. And in the meantime, let's appreciate the reliable rotation and tilt that gives us our familiar sequence of days, nights, and seasons. Let's delve deeper into the consequences of such a shift. In the event that Earth gets knocked off its axis, the most immediate and severe impact would be on our climate. The axis tilt of the Earth, as we know, is directly responsible for the climate and weather patterns we experience. If this tilt were to change, even slightly, the consequences would be far-reaching and potentially catastrophic. Firstly, we'd likely see drastic temperature changes. As the Earth's tilt defines our seasons, an alteration in that tilt would effectively rewrite the seasonal playbook. Summers could become winters, and winters could become summers. Our once predictable pattern of seasons could transform into something entirely unrecognizable. Imagine a world where the equator freezes over, or the poles heat up to tropical temperatures. This isn't just a fascinating thought experiment, it's a potential reality if the Earth's axis were to shift. Secondly, we'd probably experience extreme weather conditions. Earth's tilt helps to regulate our planet's weather systems. Changing the tilt would disrupt these systems, leading to unpredictable and likely extreme weather. We might see storms of unprecedented scale or droughts that last for decades. Flooding could become a regular occurrence in regions that were once dry, and deserts could spring up where lush forests once stood. The world as we know it would be reshaped by the whims of wildly fluctuating weather patterns. Thirdly, and perhaps most tragically, we could face potential mass extinctions. This is not a prediction made lightly, but it's a reality we must confront. Life on Earth has adapted over millennia to suit the conditions provided by our planet's current axial tilt. If those conditions were to change dramatically, many species, both plant and animal, might not survive. The dodo bird, the passenger pigeon, the Tasmanian tiger, the list of species we've lost due to much smaller environmental changes is long and sobering. A shift in Earth's axis could result in a loss of biodiversity on a scale we've never witnessed before. The oceans wouldn't escape the impact either. Currents that help distribute heat around the planet would be disrupted, potentially leading to dead zones in the ocean where life can no longer thrive. Coral reefs, already under threat from climate change, could be dealt a death blow as the waters around them heat up or cool down beyond their tolerance levels. And let's not forget the potential impact on human life. Our societies, our economies, our very way of life is built on the assumption of a stable climate. Agriculture, which feeds the world, is dependent on predictable seasons. What happens when the crops we rely on can no longer grow in their traditional habitats? What happens when cities, built to withstand certain weather conditions, are suddenly faced with entirely new climatic realities? The societal and economic upheaval could be immense. In conclusion, A shift in Earth's axis isn't just a change in the planet's orientation in space, it's a fundamental alteration of the environmental conditions that have allowed life to flourish on Earth for billions of years. These changes, while seemingly unimaginable, underscore the delicate balance of life on Earth. Has Earth ever experienced such an axis shift in its history? The answer is an undeniable yes. Throughout its 4.5 billion years of existence, our home planet has seen its fair share of axial shifts, each one leaving a unique imprint on the course of life on Earth. To understand these, let's first travel back about 41,000 years, during the last ice age. This was a time when mammoths roamed the Earth, and early humans were just starting to make their mark on the world. During this period, a phenomenon known as the obliquity cycle caused the Earth's tilt to vary between 22 and 24 degrees. This subtle change in Earth's axis played a significant role in the Ice Age's glacial and interglacial periods, shaping the world as we know it today. Fast forward to 23,000 years ago, and we see the Earth experiencing another axial shift. This time the shift occurred due to the precession of the equinoxes, a slow change in the direction of Earth's axis of rotation. This shift caused the North Pole to point towards different stars over time, altering the timing of the seasons, and again, influencing the climate and life on Earth. Now, let's jump to a more dramatic event that happened 66 million years ago. An asteroid, about 6 miles wide, struck Earth with such force that it caused a significant shift in the planet's axis. This impact is believed to have led to the mass extinction event that wiped out the dinosaurs. The resulting climate change from this axial shift was so severe that it reshaped the course of evolution, leading to the rise of mammals and eventually, us, humans. But not all axial shifts have been as catastrophic. In the mid-20th century, scientists noted a minor shift caused by the melting of glaciers due to global warming. This shift, while relatively small, serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of Earth's systems and how even slight changes can have far-reaching effects. It's worth noting that these historical shifts in the Earth's axis were natural occurrences, part of the planet's dynamic nature. They were not caused by any external force, but rather by the inherent processes within the Earth itself and its interactions with other celestial bodies. So, as we ponder the question of what would happen if the Earth were knocked off its axis, we should remember that it's not a purely hypothetical scenario. It's happened before, and it's likely to happen again. Each time, life has adapted, evolved, and continued in new and unexpected ways. History shows us that the Earth's axis has indeed shifted in the past, leading to significant changes in life on the planet. As we look to the future, we must consider the lessons of the past and prepare ourselves for the potential challenges and opportunities that such changes may bring. How likely is it for the Earth's axis to shift, you might wonder? Well, let's dive into the probabilities and potential causes of such a cosmic shift. First, let's understand that the Earth's axis isn't as fixed as it might seem. It's always wobbling a little, a phenomenon known as axial precession. This wobble happens over a cycle of roughly 26,000 years, but it's so slow and gradual that it doesn't have significant effects on our daily lives. Now, when we talk about a drastic shift in the Earth's axis, we're referring to an event of a much larger scale. So what could cause such a monumental shift? One potential cause could be a celestial impact like an asteroid or comet strike. While Hollywood loves to portray these catastrophic events, they are, in reality, extremely rare. The last significant impact event we know of was 65 million years ago, which is believed to have led to the extinction of the dinosaurs. Another potential cause for a shift in the Earth's axis could be internal geological processes. Movements within the Earth's mantle due to plate tectonics and volcanic activity can cause changes in the distribution of the Earth's mass, which could theoretically lead to a shift in the Earth's axis. However, the scale of movement required for this to occur is enormous and extremely unlikely. So we've established that the events capable of causing a significant shift in Earth's axis are extraordinarily rare. But, and it's a big but, they are not impossible. The universe is a vast and unpredictable place, and while we can calculate probabilities, we can't rule out possibilities entirely. Therefore, while the probability of a significant shift in the Earth's axis is low, it's essential to remember that low probability doesn't equate to impossibility. It's a fascinating topic to ponder, one that reminds us of our place within the grand scheme of the cosmos. While the probability is low, it's not impossible for the Earth's axis to shift. Can we do anything to mitigate the consequences of such a shift? This question brings us to the heart of our conversation today. Let's explore the potential strategies for surviving and adapting in a world with a shifted axis. In the face of a new world order, humanity's first line of defense would be technology. We'd need to innovate like never before, developing new methods of agriculture to cope with altered weather patterns and seasons. Think cutting-edge greenhouses, hydroponics, and vertical farming. We'd be looking at a revolution in how we grow our food, and that's just the beginning. Infrastructure would need a complete overhaul. Buildings would have to be designed to withstand extreme weather conditions, and cities might need to be relocated. Imagine architectural marvels engineered to endure harsh winters and scorching summers, all while being energy efficient. Energy sources would need to be reimagined as well. As the availability of sunlight and wind patterns could drastically change, we'd need to tap into alternative energy sources. Geothermal, nuclear, and tidal energy might become our primary power sources. Then comes the challenge of maintaining our health. Medical research would need to leap forward to address new diseases and health issues arising from the shift. We'd need to develop new vaccines, treatments, and preventive measures to safeguard humanity's health. Finally, the importance of global cooperation cannot be overstated. Countries would need to work together, pooling resources and sharing information to navigate this brave new world. A unified approach would be crucial in mitigating the impacts of a shifted axis. The challenges we'd face in a world knocked off axis are not for the faint-hearted. But let's not forget, humanity has always shown a knack for overcoming adversity. We've survived ice ages, plagues, and wars. Our resilience is our greatest asset. The journey would be arduous, no doubt. We'd need to reinvent our ways of living, from the food we eat to the houses we live in. But with a shared vision and relentless innovation, we might just pull through. The challenges would be immense, but humanity's adaptability and ingenuity could offer hope. Let's recap what we've learned today. We started with the basics, understanding the fundamental role of Earth's axis in maintaining our planet's climate, seasons, and diurnal rhythms. We then delved into the tantalizing, albeit daunting question of what might happen if Earth was to be knocked off its axis. The consequences, as we discovered, would be far-reaching and profound. From drastic climatic shifts to altered day-night cycles, life as we know it would be irrevocably changed. We also reflected on historical events that hinted at such axis changes and their effects, providing us with valuable insights. We then explored the probability of such a shift happening, which, while remote, cannot be entirely dismissed. Finally, we considered potential ways humanity could adapt to such a change, a testament to our species' resilience and ingenuity. So, while a shift in Earth's axis would drastically change life as we know it, it serves as a potent reminder of the delicate balance that allows life to thrive on our planet.